Hi, class. So this is Peter and Felix, and what I wanted to do was to give you some feedback about assignment 7, and then to preview assignment 9. So first off, I read over everyone's assignment 7, and you guys got hopefully my feedback, which I've recorded as audio files. If you have any problems listening to them, let me know. But they're MP3s, so you should be able to listen to them on pretty much anything. Um, but again, if you have any trouble, just let me know. All right, so generally speaking, I thought they were pretty good. Um, there are a couple areas that I kept seeing popping up that I think are worth referencing. So first off, for the first question was asking, what do you think Morris's message was with the film? Like, what's the story? What's the message? And how does it relate to the themes or concepts from the course? So what a lot of you did here was give a synopsis of the documentary, but then you never actually tied it back to the course. So always keep in mind. So whenever I'm writing a question like this, so for example, last week when I was taking comps, uh, which is still fresh in my memory, I kept beating myself up to see, did I answer every single subpart of a question? Did I address every single part and word or phrase that's in the question? Have I incorporated that into my answer in some way? So these questions these prompts aren't very long, so really make sure that you're answering every part of it. So here, I think the mistake that a lot of people made was just by focusing too much on um, the synopsis of the film, or looked at as a guy, um, or Morris as a director, and not um, tying it back again to the themes and concepts from the course. Okay, so the question I think that gave the biggest trouble for most folks, though, was question 4. Question 4 was asking what personal, psychological, philosophical, economic, political, or social structural factors contributed to Lukta's getting involved with the Institute for Historical Research or Review or whatever it was, the IHR. So um, a lot of you, I think, maybe didn't understand the question. Um, that a lot of you didn't respond to it really. Um, and then for those of you who did, you said that, oh, he just liked the attention. And that's certainly true, and I think that's a valid insight. Um, but if a question rattles off all those different factors, um, you want to see if, like, okay, can I see if any of those other ones apply, right? Especially because within the scope of this entire assignment, and certainly what we've been reading in class, we want to think about what lessons from class might apply here, right? That this isn't really just a book report about a movie, right? This is really trying to see how do the themes in this movie relate to the themes in the class. So I think that, without getting too much into it, you can kind of spell out a pretty clear narrative here of, okay, well, what happens? Well, uh, he gets approached by Zundel. He goes to Auschwitz. He gets the samples. He defaces Auschwitz, which again, it was pretty clear in the film, but to underline it, it's like if someone went to like 9/11, the World Trade Center, and started shipping off pieces to do tests to disprove, like if a 9/11 truther did that, you're like the reaction would just be, it's outrageous, right? So he does this thing, then he comes back home, he testifies in Canada, then within fairly quick succession, his wife leaves him, he loses his job, the scientific community turns against him and calls him an idiot and says he doesn't know what he's doing, and then all of these like Holocaust survivors and Jewish activists start calling him a racist and a liar. Okay, so he already seems isolated from his family. He doesn't seem to have any friends. He loses everything. Then, at the same time, this group pops up who not only doesn't reject him, but treats him like a hero, says that he's brave and smart and courageous, flies him around the world, gives him money, applauds him, asks him to talk, treats him like a college professor, treats him like Zundel says he's like George Washington, right? Like, look at the difference in the response. So it's not surprising that he turns and gets their attention, right? So what theories from class might relate to this, right? So some of you mentioned like Merton and anomic strain, and I think that's totally a valid insight. I think that there's certainly strain going on here, both at the personal level, financial level. Um, he's unable to achieve his goals. He's unable to achieve his, and so he chooses an unconventional means to achieve his goals. I think that's perfectly fine. Um, then I think though that the analysis that I liked the best was from a few of you who who recalled um, symbolic interactionism, uh, social reaction, labeling theory. Like those are all kind of different names for the same thing. That what that's referring to is this idea that so there's this primary deviance, and that's vandalizing Auschwitz and testifying at the trial. There's a social reaction, which is negative, and then there's secondary deviance, and so the reaction feeds the secondary deviance. Um, so I think that I really liked that when a few folks who did that, I thought that was really clean, really neat. A few of other people mentioned social learning theory. Um, so Sutherland's differential association, the fact that um, he learned from the Holocaust deniers, and he took on their different definitions and different attitudes about deviance. And I thought that was fine. But either way, if you think about the difference between what some people just wrote something like, "Oh, he did it to get attention," and then other people went through this pretty detailed analysis, and you can see the difference. Um, then other than that, oh, I think that was it. So now I want to preview assignment 9. So assignment 9 is really straightforward, and it's pretty short, so really just get to the point. So pick a major case of white-collar corporate crime, describe how it occurred, and the consequences that followed. So obviously, there's history is littered with these things. I'm not. I think that I fear that if I mentioned a few, that you would all jump on those. So just think about it. There's lots of cases. Um, if you certainly the 2008 crash and the bailout that followed is full of a lot of them. Um, Although of course none of those were prosecuted, so you might want to look back further. You can be pretty broad about what you mean by white collar or corporate crime. If you're not sure, certainly send me a message, text me, email me, call me, whatever, and I'm happy to chat about it. So what theoretical explanations might explain to it? How does it fit or not fit within traditional notions of white-collar crime? So this is a clear application, right? So what I'm looking for is, do you apply the theory to the facts and show how it fits and how it doesn't fit? Um, and then you can, obviously, as Professor Pontel said, consumer frauds, health fraud, computer crime, official corruption. So there's a huge list of things that you can write about. 1 to 2 pages. It should be pretty short. I'm going to be looking for works cited, references. Um, but that's it. I look forward to reading it. And again, if you have any questions, I am uh, always happy to chat with you. If you have questions about how I graded, if you have questions about what I'm looking for, if you'd like to send in an early draft, I'm happy to read it. Um, okay, have a good one, and thanks a lot. Bye.